Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Madhouse Podcast. I'm your host, Maddie Smith. We got an amazing episode coming for you today. The two co-hosts of SDR Podcast, Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll, neighbors here on our label Gas Digital. It's Ralph Sutton and Dov Davidoff. We have an amazing time. Two curious personalities going at it. Per usual, I am on tour. You can check out my freaking tour website if you want to come see me live. I had a great time this past week in Naples, Florida. Shout out Off the Hook Comedy Club. Shout out Sunshine City Comedy Club in St. Pete Beach, Florida. Shout out Stockton, California, Wild and Out Live, LOL. And upcoming, I'm headed to a couple cities. So you guys can go to punchup.live/Maddie Smith to check out upcoming shows. And you can also sign up for my email list so that you can get notifications if I'm coming to a city near you. To be added for the fall, I'm coming to Dallas and Portland, Oregon. Okay, so look for those coming up. And then also coming up in June, San Jose, Brea, California, Albuquerque, Fort Collins, Colorado, Indianapolis, a couple shows there. So why don't you come on down? punchup.live/Maddie Smith. Come to a show. As always, fun as fuck. And thank you for listening to the Madhouse Podcast and supporting the whole crew here, yeah. So let's get into the episode. If you like what you see, exclusive content can be found at gasdigital.com. Promo code MAD. All right, peace. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Madhouse. We got some legends in the building today.
It's a strong word.
Legends, as in they're fucking old.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Some urban legends.
Urban legend, yeah.
A couple black guys in the house.
Ooh, I like how my hair is like all popped up there. What's going on there?
Audio shout out, that's a black guy. So we got a Gas Digital show, Gas Digital legends in the building, the SDR, Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll show.
You really put some effort into that.
Ralph and Dov.
Hey, how
What's
are
up?
you?
God bless you,
Ralph
Maddie.
Sutton.
That's me.
God bless.
Dov Davidoff.
Yes, man.
Dov's a comedian. Ralph's a radio legend.
That I'll agree with.
Yes.
Now we're on the same page.
Tell me about your radio career.
I did it for a very long time, from 1999 to about 2014.
Really?
Built a show up to over 100 stations.
What show?
It was called The Tour Bus. It was all 80s rock based.
Okay.
And that was when I led to being like on MTV and VH1 as a radio host and hosting, like the stupid intro. And what do you call that? A VJ thing?
You were a VJ?
On VH1, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
On VH1, not MTV.
not MTV. But I did like
yeah.
the countdown shows on MTV, like
Yes.
the top worst whatevers, that
Nice.
stuff. But we're talking about 2001 or 2.
Did it pay well?
No, back then it did not. But not for me, because the hosting gig did not pay well, because they would just tape you for one day, and you do like 9 hours, and then they would play you over the next 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So you got paid for one day for 2 weeks worth
Oh,
of...
you got day rate. Okay. You got to get that Wild and Out contract paid per episode.
That was before Wild and Out. It was a long fucking time ago. Yeah.
Well, a few years, Wild and Out. Originally came out in around 2006.
Okay. Well, still after my time.
First gen.
Still after my time. We're talking about 2002, 3, something like that.
Okay, 2 years before.
4 years before Math Genius.
My bad. Sorry. Okay, so we got radio. What was the number of your radio station?
It wasn't, because we were syndicated. We were on like 100 channels around the country, so there was no one station.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had about like 500,000 people listening every week.
What?
That guy.
Yeah.
Did you make a lot of money doing that?
I did. Yeah, it was good times. It was wild because unlike other radio gigs or stuff like that, I owned my show. We were the only show where I never sold it to any other company, like, a Clear Channel or whatever at the time. I kept it myself. So it was the only one like that.
Really?
Is it like rights to another, like a song or a book? Like, how does that business work?
The way it would normally work for most radio shows is you were owned by, let's say, Clear Channel.
Yeah.
And they'd pay you.
They own the content and pay you,
Yeah,
right?
they'd pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I owned it. So I would make whatever. If I got a new station,
that's cool.
If you're a new station like now, you do a big deal. There's another station. Maybe you get a raise in your salary next year. But me, every new station just meant more income.
Right.
Do you ever feel offended by the modern world wherein anyone with a laptop can broadcast?
Yeah, I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
Hey, bitches.
No, but some people
I
are
do.
good at it, and some because there was a requisite level of technical sort of know-how.
There were like five
At a
fucking-
radio
There were
station,
5
for
jobs
real.
in New York for radio, and
Right.
if you didn't make it, you weren't getting in.
Right,
Now it
right.
doesn't matter. But that's in
Right.
any artistic level. Anybody now is a comic. Anybody is a musician.
not like podcasting. No.
Well,
Anybody
yes.
with a laptop, anyway. No,
They could put out TikTok comedian and say they're a fucking.
I understand you could technically claim things,
Yeah.
but you can, a billion people can podcast. Whereas in order to be a comedian, you actually have to usually generate a credit or some real stage.
not
time.
as to be a TikTok comic, right?
Yeah,
no,
okay,
but-
well, their stage time is TikTok.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is some form of.
okay.
Yeah, and same thing
Yeah.
like when I was a
People
DJ, I was a nightclub DJ for years and like worked at the Palladium and Limelight, all these big clubs. You had to learn to DJ.
Yeah.
You had to buy all the fucking music and crate it to the venue every
Right,
single time.
right.
And now you don't even need to show up with a fucking phone and be a DJ.
Right.
It's very, very different.
Right.
Very common thing would be, hey, do you have this song?
Well,
And
we've
you'd be
gotten
like,
to
"Oh,
the heart
shit,
of it all, Maddie. We've gotten to the heart of it all.
And that's where it lies. That's where Ralph's soul lives and dies.
in the old days, in the good old days.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
right.
So, and now Dov, you're a comedian.
Yeah, I'm a comedian.
Stand up.
Yeah,
You might have seen him in Crashing. That
Yeah, sure.
was my favorite Dov performance.
Yeah, well, you're not, how many
I'm
of you,
not what?
how much Dove have you seen?
A lot.
Oh, please.
I'm a Dov lover.
Okay. All right.
Is there a project
I'm a
you
dover.
did, Dov, that you like the most? Like, is there a movie or TV show that you're, I don't want to say the most proud of, but you felt like that was a good version of me, or that was I killed it. You know what I mean?
SDR
Yeah, I
Show
know
now
what you
available on
mean.
Cast Digital.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. No, I mean, listen, I don't have any one singular aspect. Of
Well, tell us about
my
your
experience.
start in comedy.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I started to reckon, listen, I was on Wall Street when I was 20 years old, and somebody asked me to do comedy.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny, and I was reconciling existence. I grew up in a junkyard, and my mother was, on her way to India to teach piano, and then she stopped off to meet her lesbian friend who owned a monkey, and that monkey
and
owner.
so it goes. It's a tale as old as time.
It's a tale as old as time, and she was wrapped up in a cult. But my father was in I was in a junkyard, so it was back and forth
At the junkyard, yeah.
between this.
The classic juggling of junkyard and cult.
Yeah.
No, but I'm so when people
Classic.
ask about comedy, and I'm sure you have your own story. There's often somebody standing on the outside of something trying to. Ralph and I, we talk about this with every the song people that come in the house, or at least I badger them about it,
Right.
Because there's always some story where you're standing on the outside and trying to figure out who you are relative to the world.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into comedy.
On
And it
the
also,
out-
by the way, shows you how deeply vested Dov is into music, but he calls them song people.
Yeah, all the song
all
people.
those song people, all those lyricists,
Listen,
all those.
Those lyric writers. Those,
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with pop culture, and so I
Well,
don't.
you were in the junkyard, so
Well, but also between the junkyard and the cult, there was no sense of nobody
Exactly.
cared. I never watched the Tonight. There's no touchstone for me
Right.
psychically for that. It doesn't matter
Right.
to me.
And what was the cult? What were we talking about?
Oh, it was they believed that the apocalypse would be inevitable and that they would be protected by a force field. You understand,
Yeah,
Maddie?
the typical.
The typical operation.
Yeah.
No, but they were very good people, well-meaning. But that's
in
how I
India,
got
by the way. I
started.
don't know if you mentioned that. In India.
No. Part of it, we went to a guru in
you went
India
a
for a
guru,
little
really?
while. Yeah,
So it
just
was
for
like
a touch.
a kind of yoga sort of ashram vibes.
Well, they were serious. It wasn't
Yeah.
just do some yoga and leave.
No,
It was,
but
it was a
they
real
have
life
they
commitment.
gather in. Did they gather in the
Well,
physically live near
Yeah,
each
they
other?
would meet at St. Patrick's Cathedral uptown, I think, and then they all collectively bought a piece of land, as people do,
Yes.
and tried to remake culture and life as they knew it.
Let me ask you this, Dov. I've never asked you this.
Anytime, Ralph, but I'm a heterosexual. Let me remind you
Yeah.
that
Well,
right up front.
This episode's still early. You don't know. But
My eyes don't look good. Go ahead.
so in those teachings from those cult leaders, were there any lessons that you took with you that you still believe in, sort of? Like things that were like, well, that was kind of like...
Okay, they had a point
general-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they had lots of points, right? They were committed and disciplined. It wasn't some wacky,
Right.
druggy sex
No,
operation.
they bought a lot of canned goods.
Yeah, they
good to
grew their
prepare.
own food.
Yeah.
They sort of they were straight up actors.
Was
you
it-
know, but misguided, I believe,
right.
in my opinion.
Was there any sort of sister-wife situation?
No. And it was a
that's
female head of the
Oh.
group. And so perhaps in that way, the dynamic was a bit different from the
Right.
traditional guy that's
Right.
just perpetrating sex abuse.
guy,
on it, you
yeah.
It's
know?
sad that you think
On
if a female is leading it, it's somehow more genuine.
It
doesn't
is.
seem-
Yeah, you're like,
no, I know what
okay,
you mean. It's not
slay,
the case,
slay.
but it's less likely to just want to molest everybody if it's being run by a woman, I would imagine.
Yeah, we have different things on our minds.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
That's
sure.
wild. I mean, we are polar opposites in our upbringing, me and Dov. It's pretty funny.
Now, Ralph, tell me about yours. And I'll tell you guys about
Entitled
mine.
Jew from New York City. you know?
Entitled Jew from
My parents got divorced when I was 4, and you know,
Okay.
I had a very odd upbringing because my dad ended up making a shit ton of money, but he did not live with us. So during the week, I didn't have the greatest living lavish. We weren't going to be homeless, but it wasn't like beautiful. And then on the weekends, I'd be flown to some fucking gorgeous house in the Hamptons or something.
What?
And it was home in Miami. My dad was worth a shit ton. So it was wild for that dichotomy.
What was he, a finance guy?
Real estate.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was just very. He got remarried, and it just was an odd upbringing for me. Also made me almost, it's a weird thing to get annoyed by money because when I was with my mom, I was just some piece of shit 7-year-old eating at a diner. But when I was with my dad, I'm at some fucking super fancy pants. Like, oh, Monsieur Sutton.
That's crazy.
And I was like, who the fuck are these
Your
idiots?
mom wasn't getting money from your dad?
Not really. My mom decided to make a very clean break so it wouldn't be an ugly divorce. So she didn't get a lot of money.
Damn.
Yeah, it was kind of an odd upbringing. But I was very fortunate. I could say that I had a very easy upbringing, as why everyone at Guest Digital fucking hates me, because I'm aware that that happened, and I'm lucky that happened.
Did you go to college?
I did. Yeah,
Where'd
I was
you
the
go?
first person in my whole family to go to college. And,
Really?
Yeah, I only went to say I went to college. I went to Albany. I graduated with a horrible SUNY Albany. Yeah.
Turn up!
Yeah. Did
Turn
you?
up.
Yeah, me too.
Oh wow.
SUNY Geneseo, motherfucker.
Wow.
Liberal arts.
Everyone turn up for a SUNY.
Turn up for SUNY. Did you go to college, Dov?
Yeah, I went to for a little while. I was
Where'd you
thrown
go?
out of high school for some behavioral stuff. Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like super gay. He's super tough. It's like very.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no,
tough.
no. Ralph's not gay at all. I saw him hold his hand in ice. He enjoys a good pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Can
surprised, by
handle
the way. On SDR, we did a manly contest. It was me, him,
you were
TJ Miller, and
among
Chris.
yeah.
And I was surprised that I won the hand in cold water, like an ice, who lasted the longest. I was surprised I won that. I thought I'm a puss, but I won that.
Dude, no. And also, you're huge as fuck.
Yeah,
so
I'm a giant. Look, even like Dove's 5'6", so it looks different.
He could. Yeah. I'm 5'10".
Dove's 5'10".
Yeah.
I'm 5'10".
And I'm such a
And-
monster that
Yeah.
I make a 5'10" guy look. It's crazy.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you look
feel like
teeny
that's a
tiny
word.
next to him.
Yeah.
And my
Little
twin
sidecar.
brother is 5'7", which is hilarious. We don't look anything
You have
alike.
a twin brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Where's
crazy.
he?
He lives in Miami. And
Really?
I've said this story a million times, but I'm sure you don't know it. But I was born New Year's Eve, and he was born New Year's Day, so we're twins born in different years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is so insane, Ralph.
That's really weird. And I was born in '69. He was born in '70. First
Okay.
time ever twins were born in different decades.
Really?
Yeah.
And you guys both have very interesting relationship histories.
Yeah, it's very, very. I'm also both single, both never been married. Both
That's
have
unique.
no kids.
That is unique. Do you think it's because the divorce, the dad who was loaded,
The
flying
same
to
argument that you
Miami?
make for my dad was an alcoholic, so I'm not an alcoholic, or my dad was an alcoholic, so I am an alcoholic. You can make that argument in anything. So yes, I do think, because I watched both my parents be wildly single growing up, that might have rubbed off on me. But my cousin, who his father was much worse than my father in terms of being like a womanizer, he's been married for 20 years. So who the fuck knows?
You just never know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, well, my mom was dating when I was in high school.
Okay.
It was crazy.
That's not bad.
She was it was, dude, there's like a different guy every month.
Mine was more than that at times.
Did it feel real chaotic for you?
No, you're just like, what the fuck? Who's this guy?
My mom
I like
only...
you're,
that sounds
I'm-
a-
you
that
just be up
sounds
in
a-
your room and you're like, I really want to make pizza rolls, but there's a guy in the kitchen.
No sense of by the chaotic thing. Sometimes when people are coming out, like I know when I'm dating someone, if they have a kid, often
Yes.
they'll want to establish a real significant connection before you
Right.
meet the Maddie in that group.
Right.
In that setting.
There was a couple long-term guys.
Okay.
Dennis, he was around for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I think after they were dating for like 6 months,
Okay.
we got
All right.
dinner, lunch with Dennis or something.
Yeah.
My mom would do that too, but she was wrong often. So we'd see another guy. You know,
Right,
it is what it is.
right.
They think it's serious, but it's wrong. And all throughout the 80s, my mom...
But it's not every other month, right?
No, but at one point it was pretty
At
often.
least if you think it's serious, then at least you get a good 6-month ride.
Right.
And then it's not
But-
unreasonable to see somebody else on month 12.
But there were times like we went like the family would go to these like resorts in the Catskills, like a Jew weekend somewhere, and she would like pick up a guy at the fucking hotel. That's happened once.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Damn, was your mom hot?
My
Was
mom,
she
all
hot?
my friends in high school wanted to bang my mom.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Does she have
for
big
sure.
tits?
She had big tits.
And do you
Wow.
think that's
Ralph is
probably why
outing.
you love sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
And also, my mom was a comedy club promoter, so I met all these like.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty
In New
wild.
York?
Ralph does not love drugs.
Yeah, no, I do not like drugs.
He
but-
enjoys sex probably about as much as the average person.
Yeah,
In
so
terms
how
of
did
rock
you,
and roll? He does. He is.
He loves rock and roll.
Yeah.
He's
Well, music,
extremely
music,
knowledgeable about music.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do some trivia.
Okay.
What is the last Beatles album?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that. Maybe the White Album. I'm not
So-
even sure.
No, and what the hell are we doing?
Well, Beatles is.
You just went off on how much you fucking love music. I'm a music guy. I'm a music guy.
No, you can't stump him much.
Well, who's the drummer of the Rolling Stones?
Which one? The one that died, Charlie Watts?
What?
Yeah, bang.
No follow-ups.
Bang,
Yeah,
bang
Charlie
in your
Watts.
face, Maddy.
Are you a big music guy, Dov?
No.
I think though you got a little bit more into
yeah.
music since we started, right?
Oh, no. I feel the beat.
So what's going on? Me
I do.
too.
No, I feel
Yeah.
music. I can move around a little bit.
I've
for a
watched
white
him.
guy.
Like we've had a couple of performers on SDR where I
Yeah.
could tell Dov's like, "Oh man, this is fucking
Oh
good."
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I can feel it. I just never followed a lot of pop culture stuff, but I know who people are in general. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know a lot like Ralph does.
Yeah, Ralph. Well, he doesn't even know the last Beatles.
What is the
album.
last Beatles album?
Let it
No.
be.
Let It Be.
Oh, it makes sense.
I've experienced a range of musical discussions. Ralph, they don't get. He's not walking around in the weeds. He can
Right.
he can facilitate those conversations very readily in a way that I absolutely could never.
But it's also because I spent so much time. I was in radio, and before that, I was a strip club DJ, and that was when music was like you had to know. And
Yeah, but
before
it's
that, it was
part
a
and
nightclub.
parcel
Yeah.
of the experience.
Yeah.
Whether the music found you or you found
True.
it was always a part of
Yeah.
your experience, and it wasn't mine.
Yeah, and it was wild because, as I said before, my mom booked comedy clubs. So I grew up like my mom was one of the first to put Chris Rock on stage and put Ray Romano on stage. And I was cheaper than a babysitter. I'd be at this comedy club watching these comics when I was a kid. And that's how
What club?
It was called Upstairs at Green Street. But that's how Ray Romano ended up on the SDR show. I was sitting at a restaurant in Miami, in LA, and I heard his voice. He was sitting next to me. And I said, "Hey, my mom is Leah Sutton." And he's like, "Oh my God." And we started talking. And then he came and did SDR.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Very funny.
Wow.
Videoing while they're videoing.
Yeah,
a
it's
very meta.
so
It's very meta.
I'm
Serious.
freaking out. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm in
so
this video, I'm in that
crazy. I
video,
know,
I'm on
the first-
audio.
It's
Don't
so-
forget about the audio shout
It's
out.
all so unique.
Dev and I are both very obviously old when it comes to social media.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
both trying to be better, but I stink at it.
Yeah, so Ralph just got an iPhone.
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't
hate
know
it.
what airdrop is.
Nope.
He doesn't know.
Well,
But-
that's a
Red
different learning
receipts.
curve.
Yeah.
He does know tech.
Yeah,
Right.
I built my own
he can
computer.
build AI stuff. He's built his own computer. He was a hacker.
Yeah, I was wanted by the FBI.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
They came to my house when I was 15 years old. Yeah,
And that you were hacking then?
yeah, and it was
In
before the internet.
In the 80s?
Yeah, in the
Yeah, so
80s.
what were you hacking?
Because we
Freaking
were doing
the
dumb
Dewey
shit.
Decimal System?
Yeah. We changed our friends' grades. We changed our friends' grades. We changed
was
our
horse
electric
trading.
bill.
Yeah. You're changing their grades?
Yeah. It was stage
What-
coaching. Yeah,
what,
no,
you were going into
we were
files?
logging in. Then there were
Into the-
dial-ups,
yeah, okay,
and we would
yeah.
do things like change our fucking phone
my
bill or
God.
change just dumb shit like that. You
Rich
know?
entitled Jew.
Yeah, good stuff. And we would do it for our friends. Like we would change everyone's grades and shit, so they wouldn't get beat up by their parents because they had got Fs or whatever. Like dumb shit like that.
Were you like a cool kid in high school? You were the cool guy?
I had a really weird high school. I wasn't as tough as Dov got kicked out, but the first part of my high school, I was a breakdancer and I was really good at it. I was in a breakdancing movie.
A breakdancing movie and
You know?
a whole crew. Yeah.
And so that was I was with friends with all the derelicts. And then I got really into computers. I became friends with all the nerds. And then in senior year, I was like the peacemaker because I knew like whoever the kids were afraid of
Right.
or the kids would make fun of, I was friends with them.
then he found his truth
Mediator.
later in life and was in a group called the Homosexuals.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
when that was my inner truth.
Yeah.
That's when I finally found peace.
Peace and then Gas Digital as well.
Yeah.
Great combo.
Me and Lewis, people don't know this. We started out dating. That's how the whole thing
Yeah,
started.
I know. You opened your eyes and his dick was in your asshole.
I was like, I guess we're gonna do this.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Jack of all
Yeah.
trades.
When Jay was on the show, we'd had this running bit because he wouldn't believe a lot of my weird stories. Like I would tell him a story and he'd say, "Well, that's not true," and I have to go try and fucking prove that it really happened. Like the one that I always bring up is like I DJ'd for the 9/11 terrorists. That's fucking weird.
What do you mean?
They were at the strip
club. Now you have
club.
to tell us that story.
They were at the strip club the Saturday before 9/11.
No way.
Yeah. And so I had to find an article that talked about it. It took me forever, but I found the article.
Did they come up to you and say, "Can you play this?"
They all danced like lunatics when I played this Arabic song, hilariously true. But one of them told the dancer he was an airline pilot, and then when he was leaving, he said, "Don't come to New York next week." It was fucking crazy. Yeah, very well.
No effing way.
Yeah, crazy shit.
That was in Miami?
No, New York.
That was
I grew up in New York.
Got
my
it.
parents moved to my brother and my mom live in Miami.
Okay. Well, he was looking out for her like a school shooter who has one friend.
It's funny. Dov's mom and my mom did SDR together. We played a game of who knew their mother and kid better.
Okay.
And my mom and his mom like fucking loved each other. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, they got along. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys think both? I think both you guys don't have GFs, right? Girlfriends?
No. I was like
gonorrhea. You don't want. Yeah.
I do. I think I do now.
Oh, you think you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting serious.
Yeah.
Wow.
You seem excited.
Well, no, it's not the kind of thing I would want to talk about now.
I keep that shit on lock, dude.
You do? You don't talk about it?
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna know who's coming in me.
Oh, that's very
Till after. Then I'm like, fuck him.
Do you?
And I'll say names.
So you'll talk about exes, but you won't talk about current guys you're dating.
Yeah, basically. Okay. Yeah.
Do they know that they're fodder for you? Like, do you discuss that in the relationship?
What do you mean, like for like if we break up?
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm not toxic.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of boyfriends. I've had like 4 boyfriends in my adult life.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Long term,
they're long term. Yeah. Because I only date men who are obsessed with me.
Okay.
Like,
so you only were able to find so far only found 4. That's why.
Yeah, right, Ralph. I'll find 1 million right now. I'll post one freaking screenshot story and say, "Who wants to be my boyfriend?" Lying out the door. You would think I'm selling cronuts.
I'll bet you. I would bet you that you're pretty good at relationship stuff.
I am.
I bet you
I get
are.
with guys who like really like me and who I never would break up. Who could you would even try to break up with them and they was no, we're not breaking up because I like you so much.
Wow. So why?
So I never really been in this.
Did you break up with the last one, or he broke up with you?
I broke up with my last boyfriend. Yeah, yeah. We were dating during COVID. It was
How long were you together?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So we started dating, I think, before COVID. Broke up 2021. Lived through all that.
And then broke up.
Yeah. You know,
Dov, your longest relationship?
Oh, I was married, man.
I know, but how long?
We were together from start to finish 10 years.
Wow.
Married, man.
Did it sound like that?
Yeah.
Was there a lot of emotion involved in it? It's probably the position I'm in. I don't have a lot of sadness around it.
Okay, got it.
I mean, mocking aside, I don't think I have a lot of sadness around it. But no, 10 years.
10 years.
We were
Long
together.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, and you?
3 weeks? No, 6 years.
Okay,
But
that's
not
long.
married.
Only 1 6 year, and then kind of never again.
Right.
Never
pretty
again.
much. Well, like a
Why?
year
'Cause
here
you're
and
just
there.
Such a fucking baller.
I don't fucking know.
Have you had a girl who you're like, I want you to be my girlfriend?
I've had
she broke
3
your
women
heart?
ask me to marry them, and I said no to all 3 of them. And then I was dating a woman not that long ago that I did think was going to be something, and then she ended up moving in with someone else because we had like an open relationship.
Oh.
And I thought it was moving towards
Was your heart
serious.
broken?
Yeah, I was a little upset about that.
Yeah,
one.
a little upset.
I wouldn't say heartbroken.
Who the fuck is proposing to you?
Yeah, hey, you better watch your
Respectfully.
fucking ass.
Someone
Ralph's
got on your-
operation. He's got a lot of absurdity in these experiences, these relational experiences that I don't have. But everybody's
Like
their
what?
own
What
vibes.
do you mean? What do you mean absurdity? Like
He'll have these like
weird
crazy, like we were
stories.
together for a year and a half, and then she wanted to move it, and then she moved in with somebody else. Like that never happened to me in my life.
Yeah, I don't have
I wasn't with somebody, and then she decided to
Never.
move it.
That never happened to me in my
No,
life.
we
Never
were
happened to
in
me
an
in my life.
open, like we both knew we were dating.
I've
other
never
people.
been even that.
And
It
that
wouldn't
would never
happen to
happen
me.
to
I'm not going
Never
to go
in my-
out with you.
Never in my life.
Yeah.
Never in my life. Never in my life.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
gonna juggle multiple people.
Not doing
I'm
it.
not gonna have
No,
you with
no.
her pussy on your lips.
Nah,
Kiss
none of
me.
it.
No.
No,
Doesn't involve me. Doesn't involve me.
no. I stay out of that.
I assume if we were dating, I assume you're fucking the world until we have a conversation about it.
I assume you are not fucking the world,
Right.
And that there's enough going on between us that without me having to outline it for you with a magic marker, you would slow down the extracurricular activity. But you have your own operation.
Also, maybe you have probably have more to
I don't
offer
know
than
what-
I do. I have very
Oh,
little to offer.
stop it.
Mr. Freaking.
Yeah, no, Mister. They all asked to
Yeah.
marry me, but I got nothing to offer.
Three
Girls proposed to me.
Yeah. And that,
So
that was just in 2024.
Yeah, this year. So did they get down on one knee and say,
No,
Ralph?
one asked us if we could go ring shopping, and I was like, "For what kind of ring?" Like, I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about.
Right.
And then she got very upset. And
Nuva.
then Another one, the one that I was with for 6 years, said, I know I don't want to be with anyone else in my life but you.
Okay.
And I want to take this to the next step. I said, I don't feel that way.
Wow.
You know, and then we ended up still staying together for like another year.
Whoa, dude.
It's weird, yeah.
So maybe you date bitches with low self-esteem.
Maybe. Yeah, it could be very possible. You have to imagine they have a pretty low bar if they're dating me. You know, just imagine
I know,
that.
but it sounds like you got... Do you want to end up with someone?
I'd be nice. Yeah, I've been thinking about it more lately. Actually, I don't
Yeah?
mind saying this. I tried a dating service for the first time ever in my life.
But Ralph would do this thing where he'll communicate some degree of interest.
Right.
But then when I hear about the experiences, the kinds of people, it's all these wacky, unsustainable model. No, I don't mean
Right.
model women. I mean
No,
unsustainable human
they're
beings.
disgusting.
And you're like, what? And the only
Unsustainable,
comment
yeah.
about it was like, she looks like, okay, well, what, if you want a relation, there's got to be some three-dimensional experience. If the
Right,
that's
right,
why.
right.
That's why Maddy and I have an understanding. And if
Yes.
it doesn't work out between the our
Exactly.
significant
You're
Both
others,
your
we have a
Same
your
page.
secret lovers, you might be on the same page next
Same
week.
page.
You never
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
Wow, we have yes.
We're already in the same chapter,
We're
so
in
we're
the
getting
same
close.
chapter. Things are really happening.
So you're thinking about it. Is it because you're getting a little old?
Yeah, it's sad because I
Word.
do feel that I missed the window to have a kid because
Okay.
I wouldn't do that to a kid now.
But did you
'Cause you're old.
feel like you
I feel like
really
You don't want your
too old.
kid
that
to
you would've
graduate high
wanted
school and
to-
you're
well,
in
you're
a...
not.
Well, I just don't want to be like, I remember
Well, yes.
He wants to be a,
a dad. I want to be there.
And dad and a
already
grandpa.
in a
He'll-
relationship and you pulled the trigger. Now
It's
that's
di-
one thing.
it's
But
different.
you're crunching the
3 to 5
Oh,
years
yeah.
from now.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
I remember when
As
I
a
was
woman.
a kid, like when I was like 30, the kid, when I was like 30, one of my friends, his father was like 90. I'm like, oh my God.
yeah.
You know? And I would be that, you know,
That's
so
what you would
that's
be.
just would be awful.
Theo
So,
Vaughn's dad
Yeah.
was like 70 when he was born.
wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And to know that you're never going to be there for your kid
Right.
is kind of fucking weird. It's just weird.
Well, you can be there in certain ways, but you know your kid's going to have a weird upbringing because
Yeah.
you're fucking old.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
that's why.
exactly.
I'm not saying if it happened, I would be against it, but it just doesn't realistically. I don't think it's going to happen.
Understood.
Yeah.
Do you feel a void because your empire's at a stop?
Yeah, it's funny. All of my anything I have, it goes to my brother, and we're the same age. So logically, one of us
Right.
is going to die pretty soon after the other.
Well, you'll probably go first. Tall
Yeah, 'cause
men
tall
don't
men die
live.
shorter. We had
It's another weird thing that,
Yeah.
that the will is both to each brother because neither one of them ever generated any kind of marriage or
Yeah,
family.
it is weird.
Yeah.
We had
It's odd.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is
I
odd.
don't mean odd in a
No, it is-
judgment
it
way.
is odd.
It
It's
doesn't
true.
matter. You may be
No,
much
it is
happier
very
than
odd.
other people.
Yeah.
I'm just
We
saying.
don't know.
I also
saying
think,
the
by the way, yeah, it is odd.
statistics
It's
are
odd.
unlikely
Yeah,
that
for sure.
two eligible bachelors make it through to a certain age without
Right.
any tether.
It's very
That
weird.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
Very weird.
we had Joe Manganiello on SDR.
Love
right?
Joe.
And he's about 6'5". He's roughly, I think we're close to the same age.
Yeah.
And I think it was 3 points. I think we were both left-handed. So I said to him, "Hey, we're both left-handed. We're both 6'5". We're both this. Like, welcome to the show from one heartthrob to another." Like, it was a joke, and he thought I was serious. It was very weird. But
He was like,
yeah, he's like, okay, very fucking weird.
Buddy.
Yeah. But then when I told him that tall people don't live as long,
Yeah.
I asked him, and he didn't know that. And he got very depressed on the show.
You
It was-
ruined his day.
I thought every tall guy knows that, you know,
Right.
but he did not know
if
that.
I knew that, I assume.
Yeah, I was
assumed tall
shocked
guys
that he
know
didn't know that. He was very,
Wow.
it ruined the rest of the interview. He said to me on the air, like, why would you tell me
Well,
that?
yeah, he's going to go home and get leg reconstruction surgery.
yeah, exactly.
Do the opposite of big fish. Now, tell me, you guys, about your show, Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll. What are we talking? Is it mostly...
It's mostly the rock and
do you
roll.
guys talk about sex a lot?
Wow.
Two girls out on the town,
I
city
would-
living. Guys, we
Listen,
fucked.
it was, obviously Ralph. It was Ralph's brainchild, but
Right.
yeah,
I know,
the
Dov
sex.
came into a little bit later.
Yeah.
10 years later.
10 years later.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah, no. You let Ralph answer.
So,
and I'll
I
give you
mean,
my experience.
I'll tell you the inception, and then Dov can come in on that. So when I started the show, Jay Okerson asked me to do a podcast with him.
Yes.
I was hosting this thing called Shiprocked, which was like a rock cruise, and they asked me if I knew any comics. And I knew Jay at the time. We were like friendly, and I brought him on the cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just started Legion of Skanks like a year or so before. And he told me, hey, I'm doing this thing called a podcast, and maybe you'd want to do one with me. And I had the douchebag response of, podcasting is for people that can't do radio, and I'm doing
Right.
radio, so thank you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, and then a year later, he was back on, I was back on. They put us on a lot of events together, and we just made each other laugh. I said, I'll try it. Let's do
rock it, yeah.
So we started doing a podcast. We started recording them. We when he said, what do you want to call it? I was almost going to do a morning show, because I was still doing radio at the time, and I was going to call it Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. And the idea was, at the time, I would go out at night, and whoever was still with me at 5 a.m, I would bring them to the radio station and do a morning show about what happened the night before.
I thought of doing that.
Oh, really?
When I used to drink, I would be like, the best thing to do right now would be an every so often podcast called After Hours.
Oh, it's funny. So same idea.
Everyone come with me to my house. We'll fucking.
Yeah, exactly. So and then it just never happened. But I had the logo. I had
such a good idea,
I had the URL, and then it just sat on my hard drive. And when he said, what are we going to call it? I just sent them the logo. I said, let's call it this, because you see the name Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. People are going to want to listen to it.
I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
I'm saying, what's this about?
No, it's got good energy, but yeah, I think it's best thought about at this point is in a non-literal way, and it's a metaphor for an energetic conversation with people from worlds where, the branding is associated with
yes,
that.
Yes.
Yeah, and we do have, great musicians on, great comedians on, and we bring on porn stars as well, where we play stupid games, and do little nudity nonsense.
I know. I saw a clip that said Bush or no Bush.
Yeah.
You guys want to guess?
I'm going to say yes, Bush.
Wow, Ralph. That's what you'll be saying later tonight.
Yeah, I would say that.
I would say the same for you.
Yeah, it's probably. We play dumb games, which are fun. I try to come up with stupid games that make it silly for the show. And I'm, as Dov said, I'm crazy into music. So I love when great musicians come on and play live. It is a nod to my old radio days where we'd always get people to play live. But it's really just being like at a 1 hour of nonsense.
That's what it is.
But see, I like having conversations, real conversations that are not necessarily nonsensical. And so that's what, that's where I come in.
Yeah.
Right.
Double S much more...
Well, I'm organically philosophical. I like philosophical questions.
Like Carl Jung.
Yeah.
Well, not quite. I haven't earned the but yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to bring that element to an experience.
What sort of philosophical
anything
things have you been into? What is it? Are we? What?
No. It's a philosophical disposition. Meaning, if you're talking about relationships, I can relate to that and not just run from it and get jokey.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's a depth to a certain type of conversation. Listen, that's what Rogan's doing. I mean, he calls it the experience, but then they'll have a 2-hour conversation that gets non-funny and gets very,
Right.
And so, and if you can balance that, I'm trying to do that, and also, Ralph has these fun kind of elements, these games, and moves it quickly, and the whole podcast is capped.
Right.
And so some podcasts drone on. It's like you're sitting in somebody's living, Anyway, yeah. So that's what's going on.
Well, this is my living room, so.
No, I mean, wherever it is, as long as it's moving,
right?
And then you're having a conversation that works for your audience. I mean, but I mean, I'm not a goofy guy.
I think you are, though.
Oh, I can have fun and I can bounce the ball back and forth, but my disposition is generally not. I'm not a goofy cat.
You even saying that is goofy.
I don't think so. It might be funny. I mean, I tell funny jokes, but no. But I don't. What do you think, Ralph?
I think
that's not my general
he's far
disposition.
more introspective and deep thinker than I am, for sure.
Right,
but that's what I mean by not goofy. I don't mean I don't play.
Yes, no, I know you love to play. You love to play, but you love to ground it and say, guys, where we at?
Yeah, that's all.
Where we at?
Yeah.
And
it's not so different from the way you're playing this.
No way. Not different at all. Because you and I are on the same page.
Wow. You guys could be dating by the end of this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Maddy Davidoff.
Maddie and I have.
Maddy Davidoff.
Kind of rolls off the tongue.
I like how that sounds.
We have a complementary energy.
Yeah.
But I am taken, as is she.
Yeah. Well, what does that mean? Though? And until you're married, right? You never know.
That's what Ralph's saying.
Had there been
So I'm proposing to you. Well, that's cool. Do you guys practice self-care?
I practice a lot of self-care.
What kind of stuff do you do?
So I have another podcast called Good Sugar, which is on health and wellness, right? But here in New York, I helped build that company, Juice Press, if you know them. Right?
What?
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ralph's got his paws on everything.
And so that guy sold it. Can you turn the AC on, by the way? Is that possible? I'm dying. I'm dying, yeah. So I don't know where he's going to the bathroom, I guess?
He's fucking over it.
Yeah,
he's leaving. We're not getting philosophical enough for him.
I helped start the company Juice Press, and then the owner.
What year was that?
Oh God, it's so long ago. It's probably 2000,
early 2000s. Okay.
10.
Wow.
I forget, a long time ago, and he sold it, which makes him look like a genius. He sold it January or February of 2020.
Okay.
So
wow.
right before the pandemic.
Damn.
And it was just by luck he sold it, right? And then he had a non-compete.
Probably for a bazillion bucks.
For a shitload. Yeah. And he had a non-compete for a year, and then he because I've known him forever, can we do a health podcast together to get the branding out before he can open up another store? And then we made a deal where I became partners with him in the new store.
Oh.
So it's called Good Sugar. The store is on 3rd Avenue and 69th Street. Vegan, all vegan, no single-use plastics, like right for the environment and really clean, healthy food. And when we started the podcast, I went through a real time of misery when my father died in 2016. He was sick for a year prior. And then literally like a week later, my uncle got sick and I ended up taking care of him for like 4 or 5 years. And then he died in like 2021. But around 2020, I realized I was 150 pounds heavier than I usually was. And I needed to do something to change. So I started running, and I ran every other day for 2 years straight.
Okay, how far are we talking?
Now, I ran 10 half marathons around the world in different cities around the world. And I lost about 100 of the 125 pounds. But along with that, on Good Sugar, the podcast, I will go try the newest dumb or maybe not dumb health thing, be it cold therapy, colonic, cupping, whatever the fuck it is. I'm going to go try it and then anecdotally report how I felt afterwards, right? And a lot of those things have stayed with me. So now my morning routine of healthcare is about an hour and a half long.
Okay.
Of things that I do in theory for the betterment of myself.
Okay, walk us through it.
Well, it's a lot of meditation.
Nice, me too.
Right, and then it is also yoga moves and shit like that.
Yeah, a little stretching.
Stretching. And then it's a shit ton of supplements. I grow my own sprouts. I make my own almond milk. I take like a lot of health things like in that world. I do TENS unit, and then I do a bunch of shit. I mean, I have a whole list because we had to talk about it on Good Sugar. There's like 30 steps to it, and it's grown over the course of the years. I keep adding more and more. And then I go I run 30 miles a week, and I work out with the trainer 3 days a week. But I fucked up my shoulders. I can't really lift heavy weights anymore, but I just tried.
I noticed your shoulders were getting smaller.
You saw that, right? Yeah. I did.
You saw the atrophy.
Yeah, they're really narrow.
I just did the second dose of what's called PPX, which is like your own plasma into your body, and it's helped my shoulder tremendously.
You're losing viewers right now.
Yeah.
Dude,
you're losing listeners.
She asked about my healthcare routine.
I would never have guessed you made your own almond milk. I would never have guessed that.
I make so much. Even
you could use that
nobody
in 2
wants
truths
to
and
hear
a
about
lie.
PPX whoever your audience is.
Tell you that
when
much.
TJ Miller did SDR, he has a peanut butter company, and I made him fucking my pecan butter, and he wanted the rest of it.
Now,
I didn't know.
It's all adding up.
TJ butter.
TJ has TJ Butters. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Hot sauce is that?
He does that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. He's gonna have a whole grocery store.
Yeah.
Cool. And with Dov, is your self care the same? Is it similar? Like, do you wake up and share gratitude for the blue sky?
I'm trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you do?
You just breathe and have a coffee, run to the gym. Try to do some life affirming stuff, and you guys. What did Einstein said? The most important decision we'll ever make is whether or not you believe the universe is hostile or friendly, or whether or not you choose to believe
it's
that.
It's true.
So you got to choose.
You got to put out.
You got to choose friendly.
What you put out, you get in.
And so yeah. But Ralph has a specific routine.
Yeah, it's grown exponentially too.
Yeah, dude. In 4 years, your morning routine is going to be your whole day.
Yeah, it's nuts.
This is what happens. See, if you have a kid or certain types of responsibilities, it's not better or worse. It's just a morning routine like Ralph's is a very luxurious
for sure.
routine.
Yeah.
It's a very I'm the only person in my world routine.
Honey, 100%. I can't talk. I'm growing sprouts.
Yeah. I gotta take care of my sprouts. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I have shit to do routine, which is it's a bit of a different routine.
Yeah, I remember not to keep bringing him up, but Jay said once because I was talking about some TV show I was watching, and he said because he has an ex-wife and kid, and he has his girlfriend. And he has other.
In some ways, it's impressive that you've escaped many of the responsibility-related pitfalls that other people.
Right.
So there's an up and a downside. Yeah. Don't ever experience it as judgment.
Sure. No, I don't.
Maybe you're the Buddha.
I don't.
I'm 50-50 about if I want to have kids.
Oh. Well, you're still young enough where it doesn't matter.
Yeah, 33.
No, you have to think about it because what happens with ambitious women, I mean, in my experience, in my humble opinion.
As one yourself.
As an upwardly mobile female, Maddy, you understand.
Absolutely. Everyone on the rise.
Yeah, by all means. There's the thing that drives you to New York City and to do whatever you're doing, right?
Yes.
And so you have to be kind of into yourself and your own journey. You're not always allowing for. And then when you're ready to prioritize these negotiating, leaning into these other elements of your experience, you have a new learning curve to crunch.
Yeah.
So the tough shit that got you there isn't going to sustain that part of the journey until you find yourself relearning stuff mid-30s.
Yes.
And
Oh my
then you're
God.
going, oh, clock's ticking.
I'm freaking out. Yeah.
Are you really? Wow.
Oh yeah. Every
But it's an
minute that
interesting-
passes, I feel it.
What's the
I'm like,
cutoff?
"You're
Is it
getting
40?
old,
Is 40s the cutoff really for like healthy having?
Well, they say 35 is definition of geriatric, but that's
Okay.
very, old school.
No,
now,
that's my
but
dating philosophy too. 35 is
Oh,
geriatric.
good.
You'll
so
be good.
I'm right there.
You're right there.
You'll
And
be good
then-
at it.
And then at being a mom or
I-
not having a kid. Cause
You're smart, you're sensitive, you're
Yeah.
interesting, and you're genuinely engaging. And I think you would be, I think it would be an interesting ride for you.
I'm.
There's a lot of people I wish would not do it.
Oh my God. I mean.
No, Ralph would be good. Ralph.
Sometimes people announce
Ralph
pregnancies.
generates
I go, okay.
And Ralph has quality friendships. He doesn't have these long, standing
Right.
tethers with women necessarily. But
Right. Right.
Well, I will
tethers.
say, like the girlfriends that I did have, I'm
no,
friends
I
with all
shouldn't
of them
say
still.
tether. Yeah. But you're not friends with them. You're just you touch base once
Well,
in a
no,
while.
one
You
of
mean
yeah,
they don't
right.
hate
We're not,
you.
Yeah, but like one of them, I'll still,
Nobody's good friends with their ex.
Oh, I don't speak to any of them.
I would say one of them
at
I
all.
am.
All right.
Yeah,
So
one of them I am.
one of
Out
them.
of 50.
Yeah.
Okay, so my math still holds, and I'm right.
P-value is insignificant.
Yeah, it's the exception that proves the rule. It's like, who's really good friends with? I mean, it happens.
No,
though.
not me.
Like one,
Not
you know,
me.
I've also
No.
like I've been to some of my ex's weddings. You know, like
yeah.
Objecting?
And by Ben, you mean you showed up banging at the door?
Yeah, I miss you,
Like the
Leslie.
graduate?
banging on the
I
window.
love you.
Buddy! I'm telling you, I fucked up.
Boombox over his head.
Bye-bye. Yeah, he's breakdancing in the parking lot.
Yeah, you didn't even tell. You didn't even. Do you want to share?
I would die now. I was 5'7" at the time. I can't do it.
Oh, so what were you spinning on
Although
your head?
on I think it was on NNFA, we did a deal where if I lost, I had to do a breakdance when I was able to do
Yeah.
it, but I fucking hurt myself afterwards.
Yeah, game over.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Not trainer approved. I'm pretty in shape myself. I don't want to brag. I work out as well every day. So, you guys are over there talking about your homemade almond milk, not even asking me about my morning routines.
How long
But-
is your morning routine?
You hit me with the plural guys. Dove never was any part of that, but the
The
No, I feel
SDR show.
No,
Now
but
I
it
feel like I
doesn't
have to bring my
surprise me.
almond milk for all of
Do
you to
you?
try.
Yeah, I want to try that almond milk, but you have to put it in your tit. What do you guys think? Do you think comedians are the new rock stars?
I don't.
No, I don't. I think it's a weird time that,
I think we're losers.
yeah.
And I think the hype around it, and then you cut to just a show, and it's just us. So,
Tim
what are they
Dillon,
going to talk about?
who would start on this network, years ago said that the comedian is really just the circus folk of today.
We're the chorus
Yeah.
in a Shakespeare.
Yeah, it is interesting. Some can be more philosophical for sure, but on the
Well,
whole,
we have one right here.
like Mr. Dov Davidoff.
I was asking the questions.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
I don't know. I don't know about that shit. That's all like goop. That's all nothing. I mean, I guess the question would be what are comedians? I mean, what do you mean? What does that mean?
I don't know. It was a stupid
What's the
question. I was just
rock
reading
star?
the question Caroline wrote on the.
No. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure it came from an article somewhere. But what does that mean? They don't
it
play
didn't really come
instruments.
from-
It's because you guys have the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So we're saying like, are comedians
Oh.
rock and roll? But I don't think they are. I
What
think
kind of funny person would be like, yeah, man? Like, what kind of comedian would I be if I leaped on that question when, Maddie, I'm glad you said it because I didn't want
You know what's weird about it though? Almost every comic, not every. I don't like talking absolutes. A lot of comics want to be rock stars, and a lot of rock stars want to be
stop
comics.
it.
classic musicians
Yeah, it
want
is
to
a
be
weird
us.
thing.
We wanna
Bullshit.
be
Oh, it's
Everybody
100%.
wants to be Oh, please.
Everybody, and I want to be the president.
Yeah, lots of people want to run
Do you
things,
wanna be the
run
president?
country.
Absolutely.
A lot of people
I want to
do.
get shot.
Yeah.
I would never want to do that.
I want to get shot.
That whole thing with these guys want to be the. What does that even mean? I've
just-
heard that before. It's a hacky.
No, it's not. But it's happened on the show countless times.
Well, but countless people want to do those jobs.
yeah, but it's
Sure,
weird.
yeah.
The
It's
reason
not unique to comedians.
I
Everybody
would
wants
say
to-
it's unique that if you've
Everybody in the world
succeeded in an
has-
artistic field to want to leap to another artistic
But
field.
they don't really do it. Meaning, everybody that ever went to work in a corporate setting wanted to be a rock whatever.
Yeah, but that's different.
How is it different?
Because I think once you've achieved that success in the arts,
no,
to wanna
achieved or not
laterally,
achieved.
it's
Everybody.
weird.
What do you? What
I think it'd be
comedian
pretty-
became
I
a
think
rock
it'd be
star? It's
cool.
never even
I
happened.
think it'd be
That's-
cool
that's
to be
never
a
happened.
musician. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll
Of
say-
course. Who
I
doesn't
think
think that?
What I mean by it is that they're jealous of each other.
No.
The ones that I've spoken to
No, please.
extensively about
They're
it
not
are jealous of each
legitimately
other.
jealous. All right. I
do you
agree.
think-
We agree to disagree.
Do you think comedians have like sex appeal?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
the
sorry.
cans.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think the question was like, do you think comedians have like are like sexy like a rock star like
Not
these
at all.
days?
They can be.
I think they some are trying. I don't think
some.
there's any in this building right now. with
Well, when I was younger,
Yeah,
no,
back
no,
in
no,
the
some,
day.
no, some. I don't know, but you know, there aren't many. Like, yeah, it's not a good question for a guy.
Sorry.
No, it's a good question, but not for.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Do you get groupies at your comedy show of guys that want to sleep with you because they just saw you on stage?
So I will get messages before the shows. Please let me take you out for a drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Dallas, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
in
after they're just afraid.
after
suddenly
Yeah.
goes silence, radio
silence.
silence.
Yeah.
Nothing after, because the vibes I put out on stage are
No, but
I
it's-
do not want to date any of you.
Yeah,
and- yeah.
that's natural for the male female dynamic. That's where like the new age, not the new age, the contemporary. Well, men, women, gender sameness of it all is just not really evident.
Right.
But men are not drawn necessarily to the kind of female comedic energy in a sexual way.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So
But even I think that's
Like-
true. Like men
Yeah.
are just like you put a guy in a room and you say, "Oh, he's a super famous rock star, or super famous actor." That will make him attractive to some females.
Ralph, as usual, is missing the point.
But the flip of that.
That's nothing to do with the point. I was making an observation about the nature of men and women in terms of sexual dynamics. It's not about fame or anything else.
Well, the dynamic I was saying right now, I'll repeat
Yeah.
myself, is
Dov
that
is saying I'm not fuckable. That's what he's saying.
No, you
You said it
completely
in a-
are. I'm just saying not because of
so
comedy.
what I was saying.
Exactly.
What I was saying.
I
which
am
is
a comedian.
Pretty much
But he's-
exactly what you're
he's
saying. You just
I don't,
misunderstood
men
it.
are not necessarily
No, here's what I meant.
attracted to the
Not
female comedian.
If they're
energy.
attracted to the woman, they're attracted to the woman. They're not attracted to them because they saw them on stage.
Right.
Usually.
So,
Unless
by the way,
they're-
Dov, that is exactly what I was saying.
Comedy,
what's that have to do with rock
sapiosexual.
stars?
So what I'm saying is that if you take a female and you're not attracted to her, but then you make her super famous,
Easy.
a guy is not going to give a fuck. But the flip side, if you take a guy and you're not attracted to him, and then you find out that he's super famous,
Yeah,
a girl
yeah, yeah.
might be
Yeah.
attracted
It's
to
a
him. So
classic-
that's the classic thing. So it's the same thing
Fat guy's
in a different
funny, he's
context.
hot.
Yeah, same thing.
That
Right.
girl's funny. She's Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but it's more it's more interesting to me is the actual gender differential as opposed to fame or money. That's where people's heads go.
Yes,
and the
yes,
more
yes.
interesting one for me is what makes us attracted in the first place, as
Right.
before you get to.
Well, I'll say as a woman, as a woman who fucks men, I more attracted to men after I speak to them.
Yeah, right.
So when I
That's where
when
you
I
and
walk,
Ralph part ways.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yes, but guys, I think see girls, girl. There's a 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 girl. Oh, there's a girl.
Not if you want.
But if I walk into a room of
Not me.
all men, to me the room is empty.
Yeah, not me. I like
No,
when
not
somebody
him.
has
Full of men. He's excited.
no. When somebody has a shitty personality, I don't. I'm able to set aside the look. I don't want to deal with people with bullshit personalities. I don't care what you
Right.
look like.
Right.
If you have a shitty personality, I don't want to do. I'm not putting up with that shit.
Shitty personalities are the worst.
They're the worst. I don't give a fuck if you have good bone structure. If you have a shitty personality.
Shitty personality.
Yeah, but what about the other way around?
think
If you
good
love the
personality.
personality, you're going to be attracted to someone
Yes.
that you weren't
No, no,
attracted
no,
to.
there
It's a
needs to be-
combo,
there-
but people can
it's a
definitely
combo,
get
but
hotter
people
if
need-
they have
yeah.
a good personality.
Of course.
And a
of
hottest
course.
person can be ugly as fuck to me
Right.
if they
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think
right. Maddie's
it's very
right.
rare
Yeah.
for that converse to be true, where you could take a guy that you're not attracted to physically, get to know him, and you will be attracted to him. But I don't know if that ever happens the other way.
There's all
I
gradations.
think it
of
does.
course it does.
There's
all
ugly guys
gradations.
with ugly girls.
Of
You think he wanted
course,
to be
of
with
course.
her?
It's very rare.
You think he wanted to be
All
with
right.
her?
It's rare.
He wants to be with a hot porn star who's been on SDR Show.
Maybe.
All guys want to be with a hot porn star.
I
But,
don't.
He doesn't. He just.
No, I genuinely do not.
Well, you want to be with a pretty lady.
Oh, you're talking about somebody who's good at being physical or something?
No, I just mean like you want to be with a pretty hot girl. Don't you want to be the pretty hot girl?
You just said porn star.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
just means
I'm
like,
saying, like,
oh,
you
well,
see an ugly guy with an ugly girl.
Yeah, but we interview. I mean, we talked to some of these people. I thought you meant literally.
No, I just meant.
You mean-
he? If,
I like a sexy girl.
Yeah.
You want to be with someone that you're reasonably attracted to, but if you prioritize just bone structure too highly, you're going to fuck up. It's not going to be a rewarding experience. You're not going to have a sustainable situation. Come on with the shallow shit.
Come on with the shallow shit.
But it has
we
to
all
start
know the
there,
answers.
right? I mean, it does.
Ralph,
have
of
to start
course,
there.
it has to start there. Let's not. But
But,
what are we?
again,
15 years
We'll
old.
go back to what
Come
she
on.
was just saying.
I'm not.
Dov.
Nobody
If you
said
listen
you don't know at all have to be
She
attracted
just
to
said
somebody.
that. She just said that.
And
Dov.
I'm repeating what she said in my own way. It's called
She
a fucking
said-
conversation.
She said, She said that she could be not attracted to a guy,
No,
talk to
she has
him,
to be-
and then be attracted to him.
Yes,
So that's
to a
exactly the
degree.
opposite of
It
what you
is-
said.
It isn't. We're saying the same thing.
Right.
We're saying there are gradations. You're wrong, Ralph. We're saying there are
disagree.
gradations
Sure.
within that. Within that. Of course.
Absolutely.
Maddie, we're saying the same.
We're saying that, and then Ralph's over here. Oh, I've been
yeah.
proposed by
I
3
don't
girls.
know, but yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I disagree with all that.
And you said you're on a dating service now.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's one of these things where they pay you
Millionaire
this-
matchmaker?
Something like that. Not that much though. Thousandaire matchmaker.
Concierge service.
Yeah, it was-
Concierge.
Yeah, so
Juice
far it was
Press
interesting.
former owner.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
have you met up with any ladies?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been.
Three?
I haven't been yet.
Oh, you only chatted with them?
No, we met. I had 3 different dates.
Oh.
But none of them warranted a second date.
Oh,
Yeah, for me.
tough,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Why not?
what was the cons?
Each one had something I felt was a little off for me. That's all.
What are your red
Like
flags?
The first girl, we just had really nothing in common.
Okay.
First of all, she lied about one of my first things to a girl is, we go to dinner. Are there any
Can
dietary?
you say to the service, yo, this bitch?
No, I don't think I want to say because they're nice enough. They're doing
Yeah.
a good job, but they're trying.
Okay.
I ask always on a first date, do you have any dietary restrictions? She said no. Then we get there, and as we sit down, she says, oh, by the way, I'm vegan.
Oh,
so I
okay.
think that's like, you're a fucking idiot. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And then when we go through the menu, she asks, what's vegan? The waiter pointed out a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, oh, could you do this instead? So if you had that idea instead, just fucking ask. That's a number.
So it's just annoying.
She says, when I asked her what she did for a living, she said she was an entrepreneur, which I think is just a fucking weird answer.
Yeah.
Nobody says that.
It's fake.
Yeah, it's a fake answer. And then she was very into equestrian, which I like. We had nothing in common. Anyway,
yeah.
Second girl
Next.
was
Next.
talking a lot about
MTV's
fighting.
next. Okay.
And like she had gotten to a fight the night before.
Wow.
And asked if I was in a fight recently, which was weird. And I was like, that's just fucking weird,
Yeah.
you know? And the third girl, I would say we may go out again, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like a montage in a movie about.
As you get older, you see the flags that you're like, oh, it's probably not going to work out.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, it's true.
You think it's as you get older?
I think as you get older, you learn more and more about what you like and don't like.
I think the more, and
I mean,
the
the
more
analogy
people
I've
we've
always
been
said
with-
when I was a kid, I'd go to a fucking bodega and order a turkey sandwich.
Right.
And now I say, oh, use the low sodium turkey, use the multigrain bread,
you-
use
right.
the Dijon mustard
Yeah.
because you
just
know what
a
you like.
squirt of mustard.
Yeah, but have you found what you like?
I know
likes
what
a
I know what I
turkey
don't like.
sandwich.
Yeah. I like
No,
the
not
low
at the deli. Have you experienced women without flags?
without we know where the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But you didn't get involved.
The
in
last one, I
relationships
thought I thought we were moving in the right direction.
Do you guys ever get girls like jealous because you have porn stars on your pod? Like the fuck?
Yeah, that's happened. I had
Yeah?
just sure that happens. Yeah, they follow me on Instagram. It usually ends soon after.
Oh yeah.
with her? My concern isn't jealousy. It's more like them going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, them
You know
being
what I
like,
mean?
ew,
Like that's what you would do.
you're a freak.
You wouldn't be jealous. You wouldn't be jealous at
I
all.
would say
Okay.
Ralph and Dov are freaks.
Yeah, you'd go, "Why are you talking to these people?" That's what you'd say.
Right, but maybe someone else would be, maybe someone who's a fighter would be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wild.
porn stores.
She literally told me that she got into a fist fight with a girl the night before,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think that's fucking. She's 35. Like, who's getting in a fist fight?
Mm-hmm.
At 35 years old, it's crazy.
I don't know.
What socioeconomic background did this woman come from?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, how'd
We
she
didn't
get
talk
on
that-
this-
I mean, she was.
Yeah, how'd you guys end up together?
Oh, sure.
She sounds like a dope.
It was on the dating site. You know, they.
I
put
know,
us
but
together.
who are they vetting?
Well, her background was a somewhat interesting. She's a lawyer. Is what she an actual lawyer.
Now that makes it interesting. All
Yeah.
of a sudden.
And also,
Yes.
That
she also,
she's a
which is hilarious,
professional.
she
Complex.
worked for
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
it called? She worked for HR. She was a lawyer in HR.
Okay.
How crazy is that?
So she's got she's got all of the sensitivities associated with a hypersensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of like
Now
that.
she's interested.
I'm saying date number 2 for her.
The fact that she thought I was in a fight, she asked me if I've ever been in a fight, like that's opening questions, and then telling me this.
I'm
whole
with
story.
Maddy. Date number 2 for her.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Lock she sounds like female Ralph.
If she was just a dope,
yeah.
then she's just a drunk.
Her
Then she's a
background was
drunk
interesting.
lawyer, though?
Yeah,
I'm
she's just a
intrigued.
violent drunk. But
Now I'm
an
intrigued.
attorney that works in HR that then presumes that because you had a scratch, you had a
Yeah, that's like
Lawyers
hot.
been drinking. So
Yeah, that's like hot. Like someone who. Yeah.
I don't want to be in a place where I don't know
Work
if the
hard,
girl's
play
going to
hard.
get into a fight.
Yeah, it's a
Doesn't interest me.
paradoxical personality thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Not
it.
for me.
Yeah. Okay, Ralph. Well, do you guys have a favorite porn star, rock star, drug?
Well, I've done 6 drugs in my life. I tried one a year on SDR, but I think I'm too old to do it again. But we did an episode a year of a different drug.
Okay, and which
I
one was
hated
your
them
favorite?
all. I'm
You
not
hated
made
them all?
for drugs. Yeah, I'm not made.
Do you drink?
I have like 1 or 2 drinks, but maybe.
Do you smoke weed?
No.
You didn't like shrooms?
No, I hated it.
Oh.
my God, I hated it. Yeah.
I like shrooms.
A favorite?
Do you have a favorite?
No.
Do you drink?
Yeah, I mean, socially.
Do you smoke weed?
No.
Okay. Do you like ecstasy or?
No.
You know that
I like shrooms.
Well, they're interesting, and you're
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I go, this is the most interesting thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I
Doors
hated
to
it.
Feels
perception.
awesome.
you
Yeah.
know?
I hated how long it lasted. It's
It
so
do- yeah.
fucking forever.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when we did Molly on the show, it wasn't Molly, it was crystal meth, and I was up for 3 fucking days. It was horrible.
Oh my god.
It's unreal. What's your name?
Me? Caroline.
Oh, Caroline,
Sorry,
okay.
my laugh is pure.
No, it's great. You have a great laugh.
Oh my god.
No, yeah. No, it's
And
nice.
then the last one we did was we did Whippets for TJ Miller, and that was the last one. I think.
You didn't like Whippets? I don't.
I
like
only
that.
I liked about Whippets was that it lasted 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's quick.
So I was like, all right, that's good.
Yeah.
But I don't like drugs. My brain is not made for drugs. It's just not.
Right.
I don't like it.
Right.
I've never. When's the last time?
What is
Dov-
your brain made for? Rob?
I don't know. Trying to figure that out. When's the last time,
Seltzer for
Dov,
kids.
you were actually drunk? When's the last time you were drunk? Because I haven't been drunk in like 10 years.
13 months, 14 months.
You?
Yeah.
13?
Well, she
Yeah.
stopped drinking
Yeah,
altogether.
stopped drinking altogether.
That's
Yeah.
different.
That
She
doesn't
used up
count.
her fun
I
ticket.
used
and
it
now- yeah.
up. I woke up. I said, "We're done."
Yeah, no, I don't get. I mean, even when I was in college, my friends would get pissed at me because I'd have a couple drinks. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm good, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Why we're drinking? It's fine. I'm good. I'm fine."
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have anxiety or a depression
No,
or
I'm just.
anything?
I think I'm relatively content most of the time, and so I don't want to augment that. I'm happy. I'm good.
Wow, that's crazy. 2 drinks, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
more,
Yeah,
more. Feels so
Ralph
good.
doesn't. He's not angsty.
No.
No, that's because his dad was rich as fuck. or
Yeah, but
what?
I didn't get much of it. It all went to my stepmom.
No, I reject that as the assessment because I think there are a lot of people, regardless of where they come from, what
Yes.
backgrounds. There's plenty of. I think I read some statistical thing where after a certain point, if you don't have to work, that creates almost as many problems
Oh, yeah.
as if you do it. You know what I mean? It's like.
Oh, yeah.
So I just he's not angsty for whatever reason, which leads him because he's an otherwise smart person, but he has shallow observations. Like he doesn't really. You'll notice that. Like even in our conversation right now, there's these kind of shallow observations
Right.
about things.
Right.
But he's not dumb, so I can't figure it out.
Another intriguing person.
Yes,
Yes.
He's like the lawyer asking about the street
He
fight. You're like,
literally
this
is.
isn't
Yeah.
adding up.
That's why I'm saying go out with her again because she
Yeah.
sounds like you.
I don't want to be
Very
somewhere
intriguing
and then,
man.
And
then
Maddie
she-
agrees with my assessment, by the way.
But
Yeah.
the girl is very
Of
simple.
you.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be somewhere where I don't know if this girl's going to get into a fight. Like that doesn't interest
Well,
me.
keep
at
it to
all.
coffee dates for now.
Yeah, there you go. Afternoon.
Yeah,
Doesn't
coffee,
interest me.
fingering. Why not?
Yeah.
But he's a curious character that way.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Well, he's like he's
There's this
New York
eclectic
City
background.
raised.
Right, but
New York
not,
raised,
but
like-
not, but no inclination towards philosophical depth. You know what I mean? No, really. It's he'll just talk about whatever
Right.
pop culture.
But I love that.
It's great. That's why he's a broadcaster.
Right.
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 And so that's why I bring in my element
Right.
because I wouldn't know how to do that for an hour.
I couldn't.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
I couldn't be a radio king. I couldn't be a radio king.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Well, now there is no such thing anyway.
I couldn't have been a radio king.
Fast that.
Well, you guys, thanks for coming on the pod.
Oh,
we like
thank
to
you.
end with
You do an hour? You
yeah,
cap
we'll do
it at an hour?
I'm going to do a hotline call at the end. But you guys didn't tell me your favorite rock stars,
makes
so
sense.
Oh, you mean? Okay, I would say okay.
You
When I
have
was
one,
a
Ralph?
kid, I don't have a favorite anything, which people think is weird. But the guy that
See? I don't have a favorite anything.
motherfucker said all of the above.
Yeah.
the guy that was on the show recently, it was one of the bands I liked the most, is a band called Queensryche. and Jeff Tate, who's the singer, came in the studio.
Right.
Super cool dude. Queensryche. Yeah, that would say if I had to pick someone that like band that like really spoke to me as a kid, that was one of them.
Okay. And what kind of, what is a metal?
It's like the progressive metal, progressive rock. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys ever go to concerts together?
No, I don't think. When's the last time you went to a concert?
No. I stay out of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Too crowded?
Carolyn, what's your
loud?
story?
My story.
Yeah, tell them your story.
Nothing.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Tell them your.
No, she
give
seems
them the rundown.
She seems interesting. She has good energy.
Why doesn't?
Interesting.
Is there not a camera in fucking engineering booth?
Oh, you don't want to.
Oh, I don't know if there is.
There should be.
We should
I
have
think
one,
there is
right?
one. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Caroline, tell them your story.
I'm a Long Island girl.
Yep.
Made friends with Maddy.
Okay.
And
Many years ago.
Many years ago.
Because Caroline did a little bit of stand up.
How did you? Yeah, I was gonna say, how
Little
did
bit
you
of
end up
stand-up.
in this? Because usually it's a pack of misfits, right?
Yeah,
It's not, people who are otherwise going to go teach physics at Stanford.
I know. It looks like she wandered in here to use the bathroom.
Yeah, she looks too well put together
I
to
know,
be here,
I
Yeah. Psychologically and otherwise.
And also, by the way, she's one of the only producers here who did not come on the Jamaica trip. The two of them.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
both of them.
Maybe
Yeah.
next year because I did have, as
She was
everybody
doing
knows.
stuff.
Yeah, I know. She had a previous engagement, but
Yeah.
still. Yeah.
Yeah, but were you like, I have a previous engagement, like,
I did.
and thank God I do, or were you like, oh damn, I have a previous engagement?
She,
Half a dozen of each.
Probably
It
the
was,
first
It was half and half.
Yeah, I'll be damned.
It was half and half.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like you guys had a really fun time.
It was fun.
Yeah.
it was
So
fun.
after I was like, damn it, I should have.
next
Yeah.
time.
Next
It
time.
comes
And also,
fast.
it's a good mix where it used to be mostly men. Now it was like 60-40.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah, there's like maybe 5 girls. So maybe, whatever, not 60-40, maybe 70.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of a liberal arts school. And then she we did a little comedy, then we made stuff. Then she started producing podcasts that I had and stuff.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. No, it's
pretty
a good
fun.
dynamic.
Yeah.
No,
And of course, Jorge over there. Jorge, Gas Digital
I
Legend.
don't see Jorge, and I haven't.
Well, he's above the.
Oh yeah, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
This Caroline is she's a good person.
She's a treat.
Oh, I'm a good
Yeah.
person.
She's a treat.
Oh, thank you.
She's a sweetheart.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's so nice.
And
But very difficult interpersonally in a relationship. But go ahead.
well, it's all surface level.
She's got her hang-ups.
It's all surface level, and I want to get philosophical with her.
Do you guys keep it surface with Caroline?
There's no depth.
The woman will not engage.
Okay, so we do a little hotline call. Can you guys want to plug your shit? Plug your shit?
Dove, you want to plug your shit?
What do you want to do? Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah.
Just my name. Just add Dov Davidoff. I got to be better about marketing and all this.
Oh yeah. Well, you got some road dates coming up.
Yeah, but I forgot.
No problem.
Just at Dov Davidoff on
yeah.
on Instagram. My problem is I got involved in other business in a very meaningful way, and so I got to really ramp up the marketing.
Yeah,
shit.
Dove's like a business mogul. Dove-
No.
Are you a mogul?
Well, relative to the average comedian, yes, but I'm not
In
a
what
mogul
way?
relative to moguls.
What do you mean? Like you're right?
I bought a building a long time ago, and I got very meaningfully involved in that business, and I refined and did another deal, and so now I bought business. I'm an investor.
You are doing a little bit of real estate.
It's not a little bit; it's for real.
Yes.
So let's not confuse that with the average person. It goes, hey, I got I put in a 401k. No, it's
Spot.
legitimate.
No, yeah, okay. So you own a couple places now. Well, more than a couple, I guess.
More than a couple. Yeah.
I will stop diminishing.
No, it's not about diminishing. It's just
Your-
that sometimes people use language in different ways. I'm using it seriously.
I recognize that serious tone.
Yeah.
And
It's funny is that he's the only guy here, I think, that we'll complain to each other about
Yeah.
real estate because I own a little piece of real estate too.
Yeah.
And we will
Good to have that
complain.
bond.
We will complain about things that I think like it sounds like a shitty thing to say, but unless you're in that world,
Yeah, you'd
it's
never-
meaningless conversation.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Or if I'm trying to come up in that world, I'm like, stop! You guys are making me jealous.
No, it's not.
Like
no,
the
it's not
commission
good. It's
you're-
never
usually,
good.
Yeah, usually it's not great.
It's not good.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you have to.
It is a commiseration
fix it up
element
and,
to it.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Do you own buildings in New York City?
I do, yes.
Really?
Yes.
In Manhattan.
In Brooklyn.
Apartment?
Okay.
Yeah, I just built. I built.
Really?
Yeah, we finished a year now. 26 2 bedrooms in Brooklyn.
Wow.
That's not easy stuff to do.
No, that's
No,
crazy.
no, it's a real world MBA if you want to build ground up. Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you so much, Maddy.
Good for you.
As long as you approve.
Well, I'm a lifelong renter. So,
Yeah, no, listen. I mean, it's business is not for everybody, but yeah.
Ralph.
Follow me at I Am Ralph Sutton, my other podcast on health and wellness. It's called The Good Sugar Podcast. That comes out every Monday. The SDR Show is here twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays on SDR at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A lot of great guests coming up. And if you go back in time, we've had every rock star you could think of, and anyone from fucking Mark Cuban, Neil deGrasse Tyson, any fucking comic or rock star. We just had tons
cool,
of fucking cool people on, and it's always I'm amazed the amount of people that have done the show that have come on, and we get to sit and bullshit with for an hour.
Real
it's pretty
cool.
wild. Yeah. We just, unfortunately, Dov missed that one, but we just
Akon and those guys.
Akon was just on, which was wild, but we get a lot of fucking
smack that on the floor.
Exactly.
Give me some more.
Exactly that.
Till you get to.
That's pretty good.
Does that sound like him?
That's pretty good. No, but it's still pretty good. He's
He
wild.
when I was in high school, Akon had every song.
You can sing, huh?
Oh yeah.
This
happens every episode I sing.
Karaoke it? No, you're a
I'll go to
talented
karaoke.
person.
I'll go to karaoke.
We get it. You're talented. I get it.
Dov, stop. I'm regular. I don't own property, but I can belt a tune.
Yeah, property's not a talent. Singing is.
What's the other Akon song? Smack That and.
You and Caroline make quite a pair.
Yeah, I know.
Do you guys hit the karaoke together?
We could.
We'll probably go after this.
I'd like to take a look.
I used to sing too. But
Yeah.
I,
Oh,
She was
wow.
in chorus.
You guys
Chorus
should put
in
out
high
like a
school.
duet together.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should, or like a Christmas album.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Deck the halls with bars of holly.
That's nice. You have a nice voice. Smoky.
Well, it wasn't
The tongue
always.
thing was weird, but the voice is smoky.
It's just sort of this tick I have. My voice wasn't always like this. I have acid reflux.
I got you.
So it
It's
used
nice,
to be a lot
whatever it is.
higher, and now it's lower because of the
You
acid.
legit have acid reflux?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Silent acid reflux. You ever heard of it?
I thought I had it, and I did this horrible test, and I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
But they shove a camera.
I'm so glad we went in this direction.
They
No, it
gave
was
you
the
an
worst thing
endoscope?
ever. No, that was no big deal. The camera had to live in my chest for 24 hours.
Oh.
And every time I coughed or ate, I had to like push buttons on this fucking thing. And then I had to pull it out myself. It was horrible. It was one of the worst weeks of my
What?
life. Yeah, it was
Sounds
horrible.
like a black
And then I
market
didn't have fucking acid
situation.
reflux.
Right. Okay.
Thank God.
I think there's other ways to test that.
It
but-
was because I had to have a throat surgery and sinus surgery.
yeah.
You went through some serious shit. I don't think we want to get into it.
No, but that's why I did
Right.
it. But it was awful.
Well, I have a deviated septum, so
Oh.
totally.
Wow.
I
You guys,
totally
you should do an
empathize.
hour. But what do you need me for? You guys,
Physical- nothing.
Physical ailments
Nothing.
with
you're
Maddy
really
and
hitting it
Ralph.
off. Yeah. Yes, an hour with sinus. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll have Akon. Okay, we're gonna do a phone call. People call in. They confess to shit they've done.
Okay.
Fucked up people anonymous.
Okay.
FUPA hotline. Did you guys do anything fucked up this week?
No, I had a good week.
Okay.
No,
Me neither.
I didn't do anything fucked up.
No, what's fucked up? It's all
Yeah, what does that
relative, I
mean?
guess.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say. I took a early ass flight. It ruined my fucking week on Sunday.
Is that
so
fucked up?
It felt fucked up to me. Yeah.
It's a good thing. I like early flights.
Really?
Less
This
chance
is
of
the
delay.
problem with semantics. Nobody knows what anybody else really means by certain words.
That's why it's loose.
Well, that's why it's loose.
So
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I fucked up. There you go. I went to Dominican Republic this weekend, and it was 100 fucking degrees, and I was miserable.
All right,
That is
so now
fucked
we've
up.
altered the whole notion of
Yeah.
the word fucked up.
It is
Okay.
fucked up.
All right.
You know,
Yeah, it
but
was
if someone
miserable.
called and said that, I would be like, "That's a terrible call."
All right.
So
I took a nap at an inappropriate time. We're gonna go in that
fucked
direction.
up.
Yeah, I know it's wild.
You're insane.
So
You have
glad
a
I shared.
son.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, let's see what they have to say. Thank you for calling the FUPA hotline. How can we help you?
Hey, so I have a business where I use a box truck, and
Use a
I'm
what?
parked
think
in
a
someone's
truck.
driveway, a business driveway that's not active, no one's there, and I'm just running inside to grab a check, come out, guy's honking his horn. I have to move, so as I'm moving, the guy backs up, and basically I kiss his side mirror, just a little kiss. And as I kiss the side mirror, I keep going. It's natural, it happens. He's got a big worker's truck. And as I pull up, and I'm getting ready to go back out and get my check, he's telling me I scratched his side mirror. I go check it. I say, that's light. Go inside, come back out, and the guy's like, I'm calling the cops if we don't take care of this because you scratched my side mirror. And I'm like, dude, just buff it out. And he's like, nah, bro. He's like, do you want to handle this between me and you or insurance? So I tell him I'm not fucking dealing with none of it. Like, I'll give you a few $100 to go buff it out, and that's about it. And
All right, what's the wound
instead
up
he
here?
called
What
the cops.
happened?
We're waiting.
What happened? I'm
We're
living through this
waiting.
in real time. What happened?
There's more to come.
It's
Okay.
like a little fender bender.
Okay.
Or like a little. a guy-
Oh, it's not live?
Oh, no. This was
a pre-record.
someone called.
Yeah,
We're
that makes sense.
pretending it's live.
Oh, no. Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I thought the guy was just droning on, for God's sake. want to hear about every fucking
He
element
gets
of
a
the
little
story.
wind. I
The
know
men
people.
drone
Okay.
Always surprised people who listen to things,
No,
can't
of
tell
course,
stories.
of course, of course.
Shall I proceed?
No, I thought I would really talk to the guy. I was going to try to tell him, in addition to this little accent, he should shorten things up and life would be smoother. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
So in a moment of rage, for some reason, I just go into my truck. I grab this rusty-ass wrench that I have,
Jesus Christ.
and I bash his mirror. And then I tell him, now you have a reason to call the fucking cops. And long story short, cops
Too late.
get
Yeah.
there. They're contemplating whether they're going to arrest me or not. But because he got into my face and pushed my chest, and then I pushed him to the floor, they kind of just said it was a mutual exchange and that we have to let insurance deal with it. So
Hey.
now he's going all crazy trying to get his insurance to cover it, and my insurance is basically battling back saying, well, you guys were both moving, so you're both responsible. So fuck him. He can go fuck himself, short little
So is this
Italian.
guy
Fuck
venting?
Anthony,
Is there
you
a
know who
question
you are,
here?
You cocksucker.
Wow.
This is just,
Damn, short little Italian. He said.
yeah.
Did he say truck him at the end? Because that's funny if he said truck.
Truck him. Truck that short little Italian. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Wow. So now do we analyze it or you just wanted to hear the call? I don't know
Well,
how
it's
this
like a
works.
little confession, and you
Okay.
can say whatever you want. I mean, I don't have a car, so I don't deal with stuff like this. But definitely, I've had some road rage.
This isn't about a car.
Yeah, it's escalation because somebody
This
else
is
is
about a problem.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like when I do, I could see being rageful
Oh, me too.
in that environment.
course.
Yes.
Of course.
Would I smash a guy's mirror though after I already sideswiped
Well,
him?
you're a
After I-
woman. It's
right.
different.
Yeah. I mean,
He blew it, man.
Yeah, he really escalated for no reason. There's no way
Yeah.
that was going to end well.
Well, if the guy pushed him.
no, I think that
don't
was
know.
after. I,
mean,
think
yeah.
that was after.
yeah.
After he
got
knocked off the
saved
mirror.
by the cops
No
being like,
way.
I don't know
Yeah.
what you homos are
After
doing.
he hit the mirrors when they pushed each other.
Yeah.
Really?
And
Yeah, I
then the
think that's
cops
what he
were like,
said.
someone
Yes.
else has to handle
Yeah.
this. You guys are.
And also, most insurance is no fault these days. I haven't had a car in a long time, but it was so. And a mirror, what the fuck's a mirror going to cost?
A couple hundred.
I swiped somebody like last year and knocked his mirror off, and it was a worker truck. And I was like, oh my! It was like around the holidays, and I gave him a couple $100. And he
Yeah,
was like-
that's-
he
I think
said,
it's a couple
"Please
hundo."
don't-" He's like, do not call the cops. I think he was.
The
Like,
fact that the guy
making-
wasn't going to take a couple $100 is
No.
wild. That seems
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a wild.
No. And also, I mean, if you report something, one, you'll pay more for that
Yeah.
increase in
Mm-hmm.
your policy
Yeah.
and your insurance. And then there's a what's it called? Deductible.
Yeah.
Yes.
that you
But
have
also,
to pay.
if he was driving a
Silly.
corporate truck, who the fuck cares anyway?
Who the
That's-
fuck cares?
It's so weird. It's like-
This guy
He's
was
got
just
issues.
venting. There's
Yeah,
no.
it's never about
there's
you.
No
And he's
question
still
about
mad
it.
about it.
Yeah.
He has anger
He's
issues.
angry. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's angry about something
Do
else.
you guys have anger issues?
I don't.
Well, is that true?
I don't think I get angry. Rarely get angry.
Yeah, but that could be an issue.
I get
That
like,
exactly.
So
I
I'll
said-
tell you this.
The idea that you reflexively responded, "I don't,"
Ralph pops
means
off in
you
the
may
Slack
not have
sometimes.
access. We all have anger.
No, so when
It's
I
about
get
how we
angry, I
access
do
it.
angry. If like we'll use gas digital as an example.
Okay.
When the staff
get
gets to a point where they
frustrated.
don't do it, I get frustrated. And I will tell them they got to fucking take care of it. But I don't yell and lose my mind
Right.
and
He doesn't
break
go
things
0
or
to
punch
60
a wall.
at a drop
I don't
of
do
a-
shit
How
like
about
that.
this?
Yeah.
Are there more subtle experiences you've had, especially in dating scenarios, where you just shut off in a cold way, and so your anger issue is not loud; it's just
No, I will.
quiet.
I will
Like, do you
explain
get
when something's wrong. I will tell
You
them.
will.
Yeah,
so
I-
you
yeah.
are perfect.
Yeah.
No, well, if I was, I wouldn't be single, I guess. But I do think that I
You
would
had 3
rather.
chances.
Yeah, you turned down 3 marriages.
I don't let things fester.
single.
That's 3
Yeah.
more than Maddie got
That's
married.
literally.
Yeah.
You're single. Shut up.
I don't
Shut
let
up.
things fester. I don't let things fester
Maddie's
in,
right.
in the dating world. If something's bothered me, I address it. Even like
that's healthy.
Lewis and I also, we will have conversations
Your other
when
girlfriend.
things get frustrating.
Let's talk.
We'll talk about it, and I will admit if I'm wrong. And
Yeah.
that very often he doesn't know what to do with his anger. If I admit it, I'm wrong.
Doggy.
And it's interesting.
I don't know what I'm feeling.
I wonder. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I have innate challenges with experience. Well, then it's only a problem if it's a problem.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it all depends on. It was a problem for my ex, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily
Right.
a problem. It means it was a problem for.
Unless it was a problem for 9 of your exes, then it's a
Yeah.
problem of you.
Yeah. It's a function of the number.
Your
What about-
anger was a problem for your ex? That's what you're
the
saying?
way I would communicate
Oh.
a disappointment
Oh.
or something, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
there was obviously there's a constructive way to communicate with someone, and then there's a way that's just too edgy.
Yeah.
It reminds me-
For a
you,
girl,
bitch.
I mean,
Right.
for the person I was with,
Yes,
you're
yes.
an edgy gal, and it might work
I'll
better
take
with
it.
you.
Boom.
No, really.
I'll take it lying down.
No.
I noticed that tongue comes out often.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, sounds healthy.
Yeah, well, I try.
You guys, I had a wonderful time today in the Madhouse.
Thank you, Maddy.
Thank you for coming on.
Delightful. You're a good person, Maddy.
Oh, you too, though.
I look forward to you two dating and maybe having a threesome with Caroline.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's just something that, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, let's go. Get a group chat going.
Let's see what happens. I look forward to seeing the pics later.
I'll see you in
I see no
Jamaica.
reason the three of us could. No.
Yeah, no, I mean,
No,
I mean,
please.
stop.
Please.
No, it's stupid. It was fun. It was a
Even one-
joke.
I mean,
it was a joke.
What?
I mean, like if you
It's like every guy that's ever pitched a threesome idea. Oh, we're just joking.
obviously I was kidding, stupid bitch.
Stupid thing. The threesome thing is way above my pay grade. I'm out of that game.
Okay, well, for me it was charity, so. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week. This was SDR Show. We'll see you on the Madhouse next week.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
God bless. God bless.